buddy cop kind of comedy that stars Dave Bautista and Kumali Nuji. I don't know how to say that guy's name at all, so I'll just call him by his character's name, Stu. So yeah, being honest with you guys, I had absolutely zilch intention of ever seeing this movie. I saw the trailer for it, and I'm just like, that kind of looks like shit. That's why I'm getting this review up to you guys so late, because eventually I did finally decide to see it, because part of me felt like I needed to see it, because I do, in a way, relate to this movie, because, fun fact for you guys, for about a year, I actually drove for Uber. Well, I actually drove more for Lyft. That's why I got the jacket on right now. You know, it's the middle of summer and I'm gonna sweat my balls off wearing this thing, but you know what? It's gonna give the video context. And if nothing else, maybe someone who works for Lyft will see this video and appreciate me giving them some advertisement, and you know, maybe I can start making money off YouTube. That'd be cool. I can dream, right? But anyways, I decided to finally go out, and I did see it. I'm here to tell you guys right now, it actually wasn't bad. So Stuber has a very simple plot to it. You have this guy named Stu, he's an Uber driver, but apparently he's not a very good Uber driver. He drives in LA, you know, he gets a lot of very weird, different, picky customers. No one ever gives him a 5-star rating, and that's bad because the way Uber works is you have to maintain a certain rating to keep driving, because if Uber eventually feels you're not a good enough driver, they will drop you. As I mentioned, I did that shit for a year. I know how it works. But I do want to call some bullshit right here. I mean, it's not that hard to get a 5-star review driving someone. Just get them from point A to point B. Don't kill anyone, and you're going to get a 5-star rating. It's just how it works. So I did find that a little bit unbelievable, but I rolled with it. And then one day he has to pick up Dave Bautista, who is a cop who's trying to investigate a case that killed his partner some time ago. He recently got laser eye surgery though, so he can't drive. So, you know, he has to take an Uber to get to where he needs to go. And now the two have to team up to work together, and now we have the movie. First of all, getting into the positives of this movie right now, Stu and Dave Bautista, they actually had really good chemistry together. Part of what I felt worked really well for both of them is just the fact that as characters, they are entirely different. You have Stu, who is so reserved, so insecure, won't man up to anything or anybody, you know, just wants to just get this done, get it over with. And on the other hand, you have Dave Bautista, who is completely hardcore, in your face, really aggressive, just, you know, a very man's man. I mean, we all know him as Drax. We all know the kind of characters he plays. The point is, you put the two of them in a car together, you put the two of them on an adventure together, they're not going to get along, and it's going to lead to some funny moments. One of the things that I also did appreciate about this movie is seeing how, in a way, they do help each other grow. Like, one of the things I liked seeing with Stu is part of the reason he's doing Uber and also working his other shitty job at kind of a Dick's Sporting Goods store. It's not really like that, but it's something like that. You know, he's doing that work because he's working with a friend of his, a girlfriend of his, that to try to open up this new gym, this new spin bike gym. But, you know, he doesn't really give a shit about that. He's just doing this so that girl will fall in love with him. And, you know, Dave Bautista's kind of pointed out to him, it's like, you know, this girl, she's never going to love you for that. She's not going to truly like you for that. Just because maybe whenever she's bummed out about a guy, you've maybe gone and hung out with her and had casual sex, you know, that doesn't mean anything between you guys. If you want something real, you have to tell her, and if that's not going to happen, you need to move on. I like seeing that because immediately it does make Stu a little bit more relatable, because I think I speak for every guy. We've all met a girl that we've liked, maybe we're even friends with to a degree, and you know, maybe there were times where we would maybe take her out, maybe we would do things with her, or whatever it was, but we'd want more than that, but she never wanted more than that, and then eventually, you had to just accept, alright, I can't be friends with her because I like her too much to be friends with her, and I know we're never going to be more than friends, so I just gotta break it off. I just gotta rip the band-aid off. And what I appreciated seeing Stu really help Dave Bautista with is really showing him, like, you don't have to be such a hard-ass all the time. You know, Dave Bautista has this daughter that he's kind of neglected, he's kind of put his work ahead of his family, and Stu points out to him, it's like, your family should always come first, your daughter needs you, she needs your support, you know, you need to be there for her, you need to always let her know that you love her. Like, let your guard down every now and then. You don't have to be so in your face with everything. I'll say, some of the things that definitely do work with this movie is just seeing the way they try to solve the case together, seeing them go on these criminal excursions together. Because again, Stu is just completely out of his element, you know, he's never been involved in law enforcement whatsoever, and Dave Bautista's like, okay, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, and Stu's just trying not to freak out. There's one scene, Dave Bautista and Stu are at an animal hospital. They get confronted by these thugs, and you know, Stu's freaking out, doesn't know what to do. He's just throwing cans of dog food at these guys, and then that's what's helping Dave just shoot each of them individually. It was funny. It's kind of ridiculous, but I did roll with it. That's the other thing I will say. This movie is completely ridiculous. I mean, it has a very simple plot. It's not the most clever plot ever. I mean, it's not like a stupid plot or anything like that, but it's one of those, like, you know, you've heard better, you've heard worse. And there are a few moments where Stu really has to come out of his shell, which are pretty funny, you know, whether he has to handle a gun or, you know, get in a high-speed chase or anything like that. Those moments are pretty funny, but there are a few that do kind of fall flat, don't leave you as fulfilled, I guess I could say. That's the other thing I will point out. As much as I could relate to Stu's situation that he had with the girl that he liked, that is where the movie slowed down. Whenever he talked to her, whenever he was, you know, trying to get with her or anything like that, you know, that is where the movie dragged a little bit, because you don't really care about that relationship because you just know it's not going anywhere. Even still, the investigation itself, I honestly don't remember a whole lot what the investigation really was. To my knowledge, I believe it was just Dave Bautista trying to track down this killer of his former partner from some time ago. That's really all it is, but as far as the investigation went, I wasn't really that invested into it. At no point was I really sitting there like, okay, maybe that person did it, or this group of criminals did it, or this person was involved. So typically when characters are on an investigation, when you're watching the movie, you maybe see certain characters or certain actors, and you're just like, oh, that person looks suspicious. I'll bet that person was involved. I wasn't really doing that in this movie. The investigation didn't really carry this movie, and that was a little bit of a bummer. It's basically Stu and Dave Bautista's chemistry that carries this movie. Eventually, though, the two of them do find the murderer. They're able to take him down in what's a really awkward, very amusing final confrontation. The movie does end. Stu finally gets a 5-star rating, and he also ends up dating Dave Bautista's daughter, even though nowhere in the movie did I really feel like they had like a connection between each other. I mean, I feel like the movie just wanted to do that because now it just makes things really awkward for Dave Bautista, because it's like, oh, this awkward Uber driver is dating my daughter. Cool. But yeah, that's a really simple review, but this is a really simple movie. And all in all, Stuber, it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was enjoyable. Stu and Dave Bautista, I loved their chemistry in this movie. Those two really did carry this movie. Between them, there were actually some really funny moments here. Some of them don't hit you as hard with the humor. The story itself, it's not bad, but I do wish I was a little bit more involved with the investigation, a little more invested into it, I should say. There are definitely areas in this movie that you may find surprisingly relatable. The plot is completely ridiculous. There are some things that happen in this movie that's just illogic and nonsense, but if you can look past that, I still think you could roll with this movie. And in the end, now that I've seen this movie, next time I ever turn on the lift out to make a little extra money, I'm going to pray to God I never run into a situation like this again, because I just know I would do horrible. I would be Stu for sure. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe. I will see you all next time.